Yo, so I just want to kind of get my thoughts on the Dirk situation. I was changing the tire today. Today has been fucking insane. Caught a flat, etc. So that's why I'm not at the studio. I'm out and about, but I just want to get my thoughts. So look, this is the thing. If we take it back to Dirk and the situation started between Dirk and Youngboy. There was a beef over a female, per usual, and it trickled down. It trickled down to Von getting into it with Quando, and that's what this whole thing is about, if you didn't know. So when they were in Atlanta and the day that Von was shot and killed, this has always been my take on it. And the reason why I'm not riding with none of Dirk's actions, and I'm not going to pretend that I think he did an honorable thing for his friend, or pretend that, Dirk is within right, or Dirk is innocent. I don't really know, and I don't have a dog in that fight. I like Dirk's music, and same as Von. I like Von's music. I like Von's his whole I want to say character, because he was really about that, but yeah, his whole character he brought to hip hop. It felt like WWE finally. We were back to no one could really play with Von. So anyway, my whole take is this, man. Nobody asked Von to punch on Quando. Even when the fight kicked off, Quando was not trying to even fight back. Like, Quando did not want the smoke with Von, right? So here's the thing. Do I think that Lil Tim should have, blow Von down? No. I think they could have jumped him. It was a fight, clearly. Von didn't pull out no blower, and it wasn't like that. It was just a fight, and they could have jumped him and spared this whole situation. However, if I'm being fair, Von it was a known killer. So I think they dealt with that situation how most people would have dealt with a literal killer coming at them. Maybe they felt as though, and everything happened so fast, but in that moment they may have felt as though, okay, he's punching on Quando, but is he gonna shoot him after? Is his people here? What's going on? And just had to neutralize the situation. Now, when I think about Dirk's actions and his whole mentality towards this situation, right? If Dirk were truly smart and Dirk were truly wise, he would look at this situation as, yes, Von was my boy, my brother. If something, what the hell? I think it was a leaf. If something would have happened to Dirk, Von would have his back, and vice versa. And I think that was the pressure that Dirk felt. But let's just look at the facts. If Von were wise and smart, he would say, I hate that this happened, but Von took basically justice in his own hands to get back at Quando for whatever reason. I know they probably had words. So Von jumped on Quando. He really didn't have no backup for real. It was impulsive decision, a foolish decision that cost him his life. And now y'all want me to slide for Von when I wasn't even in Atlanta. I had nothing to do with this. I don't know nothing about that. All I know is I saw the video. He punched on Quando. They took action, and that's what happened. Miss my bro. Love him. Sorry that it happened. It's very unfortunate, but I'm not throwing my life away over this situation. But that mentality didn't get Dirk where he's at today in terms of like street credibility, because when you in the hood and somebody kill one of yours, you just go kill one of theirs. It don't matter what the situation is. It don't matter who is right and wrong. That's why you should stay out the streets. This shit is really fucking stupid. So you get to take a peek into the mind of Dirk. That Dirk does not care nor was he concerned with what the situation was about. He wasn't trying to dig into it. He wasn't trying to see what was going on. He wasn't trying to, it wasn't none of that. It was Von lost his life. We got to get back. That's it. He was even, now the trial's coming out. He's saying that, that O Block wasn't going to slide. He was saying, yo, O Block is not going to slide. This is going to be on us. Now, how do we know that O Block, that his own block didn't look at his actions as foolish? Is that possible? So when you fast forward right into the trial, and if you care about my thoughts at all about the trial, I think that Dirk has two of the most powerful attorneys, and they're teaming up to get this man free. If I was a betting man, I am going to bet that Dirk will not serve significant time for this. That's what I think. I think he's going to be charged with something, because the evidence is overwhelming that now that they got text messages, and I mean, it's clearly he orchestrated something or had his hand in something. And again, I'm not trying to play police here. I'm just saying what everyone is saying, that he's cooked. Do I think he's cooked? I just don't, because of his attorneys. Because I don't think you guys realize how many court games you can play to wiggle yourself out of a situation. You got to think. You could say, well, they'll present the text messages. The message going to be on the projector. The whole jury can see, hey, go do this for me. Here's the money. But you don't understand that the attorney could say, hold up, this evidence is not valuable to the trial because XYZ. Because there's a statute in fucking statute states from this case back in 1947 that would not be. You get what I'm saying? It's so many games to play, and that's why I'm not dead set on Dirk being cooked. I'm not. And I think that Lil Tim, this is a perspective I haven't heard. I believe this. Lil Tim has placed Quando in a situation that he should have never put his friend in. I don't fuck with Lil Tim, bro. And not just because he took one of my favorite rappers out the game, because I really fuck with Von. I just liked what he was doing. But, obviously, let's just be honest, it's just on a musical level, right? Like, Von was not a great person, bro. Not from what he was doing. I mean, if you believe in God, I don't know. But, I'm just saying, I don't fuck with that party either, because I think that Lil Tim should have not taken it that far. And I think it was some bullshit, man. If I'm being honest, like, if it happened to my friend, I would feel a lot of anger towards him specifically. But like all this, the anger was being projected at Quando, and Quando didn't cause none of this. He got punched on. He was minding his business. Lil Tim, see, Von took it upon himself to cause this situation. And Lil Tim took it upon himself to put his friend in a situation where he is a target. And now they both targets. That's how this it's all an unfortunate situation. And that's why for both sides, I'm like, fuck these guys, man. Like, bullshit. That's just how I feel, if you asking me at its core. But I don't have a dog in the fight anyway. I don't even care, honestly. It's not that deep. But now you see where these things, and now you see where it's at. And yeah, man, that is my take. And I think that we got a very interesting trial from now until September, man. It's going to get real. But yeah, I'll let y'all.